Hey folks, it's the 30-Day Challenge live launch show, and we're here in the question and answer section, and we're going to be answering your questions about the 30-Day Challenge. So our first question is, how much time should we allow for the 30-Day Challenge? And the question is, we used to have a little motto, which is an hour a day. If you averaged it out over time, perhaps. There's some days where it's going to be very, very quick. There are other days where it's going to take you some time. But we've allowed for this. And we have rest days, we have catch-up days, we have days where it's very, very simple. So, we try to allow for it. Make no mistake, doing any activity, even for, 10 minutes a day for 30 days is a tricky thing to do. So, make sure do not underestimate the task ahead, but also do not underestimate the effect it will have on your circumstance if you actually do the activities for the 30 days. There are people on this forum, and we'll meet a whole bunch of people during the 30 days who have had new careers start, who have had major changes in their life, have started new businesses, have done all sorts of things. And so the effort is worth it. And let's face it, nothing worthwhile is created without effort. And, this is not one of those, pay me $10,000, stick this pill under the pillow and you'll wake up rich the next morning. It's not that. This is not what the 30-Day Challenge is about. It's real stuff, selling real stuff to real people. It's very much, how it works. But we have a lot of fun. There's no law to say that we can't have fun while we're doing this August. Let's have a look. Should we be using the metrics as last year to find niche ideas? Patience, young class member. So much has changed, so much is the same. You need to really follow along each lesson. I mean, Market Samurai alone in our market research section, oh my goodness, you guys are going to freak. In fact, for you, and you'll see me talk about this a little bit during the challenge, for you new people, you newbies, you have no idea how good you have it this year. You have no idea. In my day, we had to get up before dawn, do keyword research by manual hand from a printout, checking off tick boxes, spend 14 hours then processing that data using nothing more than a sharpened 5B pencil and a graph pad, and then and only then subject it to the research and marketing techniques of a Himalayan group of monks. Yet today, you can do it at the push of a button. Yes, that's right. 6 miles in the snow, uphill both ways. Very good. So you really have no idea how easy you've got it this year. I mean, it is superb. And there's an extraordinary amount of work that's happened behind the scenes to make it so easy for you lot. So that is cool. Question. What's the best advice for staying organized during the 30-Day Challenge? It can be overwhelming. Yes, it can. I've got 2 pieces of advice here. One is don't get ahead of yourself. Just do the task at hand. And we've really taken a lot of time this year. Every single video has an objective. There has a thing that you need to have done by the end of it. And it's completely in your control. So if you just watch the video, do the stuff, that will be good. Now, what tends to happen, and completely natural, not your fault, is at some point during the 30-Day Challenge, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You know what my advice is to stop, get up from your computer, head outside, go for a walk, and give it a break for a day. Seriously. It's the best thing you can do. I know veterans will back me up on this. How many times have we seen it on the forums over the years? Somebody's got really frustrated. We've suggested, hey, perhaps it's time to turn that computer off and just walk away for a day. And they've come back on and they've gone on to absolutely nuke the challenge. And so they're the sort of 2 tips that I would do that. Third, because I did say 2 tips, is be a part of a team. It really does make a difference. It's a great idea. Yeah, no need to resort to drugs or alcohol. That's very good Good point. Let's have a look. If we don't Facebook, is there some place we can get the tabs Facebook has on the 30DC on dashboard? We only see training blog. No, the tabs are a Facebook thing because that's how Facebook rolls. And the 30-day challenge website is like the website. So it's up to you to choose which type, which tickles your fancy. I, myself personally, tend not to go to the website. I tend to go to that for all my 30-day challenge goodness. And in fact, few applications on this thing. Don't know if you can. Don't know if you can see this. What's that? What can you see there? Hey, yes, the time. It is 11:40. Well done. But there's something very cool there. Ooh. Oops. Can't operate the iPhone, sadly. Oh. Look at that. How about that? But, unfortunately, you can't have that quite yet. It's been submitted to the Apple App Store, and for those of you who do have an iPhone, the 30-day challenge app will be available very, very soon. But we'll show you, we'll put on a whole video and do all that sort of things. I also love just getting my stuff. I personally love using the iTunes system to just have all the lessons automatically downloaded to my computer. So you've got a whole version of the 30-day challenge to keep archived on your computer, which is fantastic. Let's have a look. How long are the training videos, and do they air at the same time each day? They'll be put up roughly the same time each day. Again, for those of you who I think if you're iTunes subscribed, you'll probably get them very quickly. And if you're paying attention to the YouTube channel, often that's where you'll first see the videos if you're desperate to get those things first. In terms of the broadcast, this is what we're doing now. We'll do this twice a week during the challenge. Because I want to talk to you very, very shortly after our first couple of days, our next broadcast will be Sunday night at 8:30. And then I think we'll do one on Thursday. Can you get the 30-day challenge app on the G1, Carl Moore? Not a chance. You can watch all the videos on the G1 though. It does work. But yeah, so we'll be having these live broadcasts, which will be at a specific time, and they'll have basically the same approach. We'll spend 30 minutes. I've got a whole bunch of great guests lined up for you. And so we'll do a bit of an interview, and then we'll have question and answer. And then sometimes there is indeed an after party after that for the hardcore amongst you. And there are quite a few hardcore. Let's have a look. Yes, if you do put up your question, Caro will grab them and put them so you don't have to repeat them on the challenge. We will get them if we get to the end, and I will cover all questions. So no sleep until questions are covered. Let's have a look. Do you recommend we put all other IM programs on hold until after we've completed the challenge, or can they be done simultaneously? That's all up to you. It seriously is, it depends on your level of organizational skills and your capacity. No reason why you can't. Is the video available in Facebook? Absolutely. Didn't I show you that? Yes. Every training lesson, if you click into it, goes and you can access the training inside of Facebook. The whole principle of the here's the theory behind the Facebook application. My guess, my hunch, and I've had a few hunches that have turned out all right. Little thing called Twitter, maybe you might have heard. My hunch is that people are fleeing the internet. Real people, Joe and Jane Smith, are fleeing the internet and going to Facebook for their online community because it's safe. There's not the problems with spam. There's not the problems with viruses. It's a closed community, and the only people that you can communicate with are people you've very specifically given permission to. My guess, my hypothesis is, as business owners, we need to have a Facebook offering, because my old mentor, Gary Halbert, used to bang into my head repeatedly, Dale, go where the crowd is. That's what you want, the starving crowd. Well, for me, 250 million people and growing like absolute topsy. Facebook, that's a hungry crowd. So I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of you chaps to have a look at what we're doing on Facebook and then start to think about that for your own niche. Like, imagine if you were doing underwater kickboxing. How could you do a underwater kickboxing Facebook application? It's an experiment for us. I have to say that we're getting as many sign-ups through Facebook as we are through except for the last couple of days. But before we announced it, before we were even publicly announced, we were getting as many sign-ups to the 30-day challenge through Facebook as we were through the traditional website, which is pretty eye-raising. It'll be interesting to see how that continues down the road. It's too early to make any definitive statements, but very, very, very interesting thing to have a look at. Molly's at kindergarten. Yes, this show is being recorded. Let's have a look. Should gals use both maiden and married name for their Facebook last name, or is there another place to input that information for search purposes? Actually, that is a really good question, because for a lot of people, it depends whether you want to speak to people at high school or not. Because that is one of the big uses. I often encourage people, the first thing you should do on Facebook is to, go and have a search for some of your old high school friends, because they're probably there. It is quite extraordinary. It's one of the great things about it. So it is a good one about, I don't know the answer to that. And maybe somebody in the audience knows the answer to that question. I don't specifically know whether there's having been a male and not had that option, would make sense for them to do something along those lines. That would be good. Dan the man has been working very hard. Dan Rain has been working extremely hard on 30-day challenge stuff to make all this integration happen. So it wouldn't surprise me if the poor lad is in bed, given the fact that it's almost 3 o'clock in there. Let's have a look. How long is this live show going to be? As long as we answer all the questions. Can I use my current blog in this year's challenge, or should it be absolutely new? Again, personal choice. A lot of people like to start from the start again and go through the whole process and do it completely fresh, because it's amazing. It's like when you read, a book like Lord of the Rings for another time. All of a sudden, there's this whole bunch of stuff that you didn't understand the first time, which you now get the second time. So there's that effect. Of course, for a lot of you who have you may already have a small business and you're using the 30-day challenge to attract more leads into your business, then you've already got a business, so you want to work on that. So it's really personal choice. We take all comers here at 30-day challenge, and either approach will work very well. What are the new beta features of Market Samurai? All I can say to you is just you wait and see. If you thought Market Samurai, which is only a year old, happy birthday, Market Samurai. If you thought the Samurai was impressive last year, you have not seen anything yet. Unbelievable. And of course, I might add, completely 100% free during the 30-day challenge. And I've got to thank the team at Noble Samurai for being such incredible supporters of the 30-day challenge. Thanks, Diane. Okay, what have we got here? Question. In the past 30-day challenges, you have explored new browsers. First Firefox, then Flock. Are we going to see a glimpse of Google Chrome this year? No. Main reason being that Google Chrome is not cross-platform. So we only use stuff that is cross-platform. Please. Basically, Firefox is the supported browser this year, mainly because poor old Flock is actually going to be converting over to the Google Chrome engine. That's going to be really interesting to see, but it wasn't ready for this year. So Flock has gotten very long in the tooth, and performance-wise, if you compare Firefox to Flock, there's no contest. I've been using Firefox the last couple of days, and very impressive. So we recommend Firefox, but at the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable with. If you're still using Internet Explorer as your browser, though, please for the love of the deity of your choice, please choose another browser. That browser is just sucks. Actually, you've got to be careful, homeschoolers. It really does suck rotten dog's feet. It is just shocking. It is really, really bad. So please do yourself a favor. For you, don't think about me. It's about you. Please use a browser other than Internet Explorer. Your whole world will change. Birds will start singing. People will start handing you cash in the streets. You'll seem more attractive. All of these things will happen when you stop using Internet Explorer and start using anything else, bluntly. Pen and paper, frankly, function better. Okay, let's have a look. Sorry, Kate. I didn't say anything. I caught myself. Same or a new niche? Again, your personal choice. Depends on how you want to go. What's the most difficult part and what's the most easiest part in the 30-day challenge? The easiest part is probably looking at me. That's pretty easy on the eye, isn't it, folks? Yep. I've dealt with the fact that I'm this good looking, and I try to make it easy for you guys as well. So that's probably the easiest. The trickiest part of the 30-day challenge is, again, what goes on in here. That's the hardest part. Your conversation with yourself in here. And that's why this year I'm so thrilled to have Carl Moore on board. And we'll have Carl live. He's a night owl, fortunately. So we'll have Carl on live, and we'll also have some great videos. And there's already a preview video, a Meet Carl Moore video, if you like, up in pre-season, where you can get hold of that. So I'm very excited about that. Will there be a league table of the most successful newbies in 2009 30-day challenge? We don't have a league table per se, but we do have a Hall of Fame. And so each year as you make your dollar, you register into the Hall of Fame, and you are there forever, which is brilliant. So that's great. Is Market Samurai getting new features for the 30-day challenge? You know how I love theatre. Just wait and see. You just wait and see what we've got in store for you. And I might add an entirely new tool, which only has been seen inside Immediate Edge, which will knock your socks off. Completely new tool. Yes, Sunday nights are not possible. Don't worry, if you miss a broadcast, they will be recorded, as long as I remember to hit the record button. And I'll be seeking your assistance to remind me of that in the chat room for every broadcast, because I'll forget. What is Market Samurai? A very good question. We've talked about this in pre-season. It's a tool which you'll be able to use for absolutely free at no charge to you during the 30-day challenge, which just makes your life so brilliantly easy for market research in particular. It is absolutely brilliant. If there are any Europeans who are still with us, I worship your stamina. Very impressive. Let's have a look. Is there software I can use to do ads on my videos that are hyperlinked? Yes, but it's a bit outside the scope of the 30-day challenge. I'm building a Facebook app, something that will be tackled in this year's 30-day challenge. Is building a Facebook app something that will be tackled in 30-day challenge? No. That's way outside of the scope of what we do here. Although I encourage you to have a look at it and go, interesting. I wonder if I could do something along those lines in my particular niche. I think that would be a winner. Let's have a look. Is it feasible to do MLM or real estate as niches? Both of those are, of course, extraordinarily broad categories. Can you apply 30-day challenge principles? Absolutely. I know people who have done very successfully. But as you will see in days 1, 2, and 3, you're going to have to narrow it down. Because just saying I want to do real estate, or I just want to do fitness, or I just want to do... It's too huge. You need to focus it down. There's so much money to be made by narrowing it down and saying, I'll make up something, fitness for kickboxers, or real estate for people who live in Paducah, Kentucky, or, just narrowing it down is one of the keys to success. Beachfront condos, great idea. How many people have signed up for this year's challenge? Well, we'll have to make it. We've got to be I will tell you all about that, but we have to be careful because I don't know if you guys knew, but the 30-day challenge is going public. And we're just in a pre-IPO fundraising round at the moment. So we have to be careful about how we announce numbers, but we will tell you about those. I can tell you that last year we had 50,000 doing the 30-day challenge, and this year we'll have way more. How soon are the recordings posted? They pretty much go up on Ustream as soon as I hit stop record, and YouTube a little bit later. So, they're always, it's not long. It's an automatic process, doesn't rely on me, so it probably happens. I will be away for a few days in mid-August. Will I be able to catch up? Absolutely, yes. What you'll find, and this will be hard for you to believe as you're going through the first week, is that you can get to day 25 and realize that the niche that you've been pursuing is not going to work. And we often run a competition, and I think we'll do it again this year because it's a lot of fun. We often take the last weekend and we do a race where you start from scratch and go through the whole process and do it over the weekend. You can easily do it. Easily. Once you know, as we all know, doing something the first time, very scary, very hard. The second time is a lot easier. And so we allow for that in the scope of the 30-day challenge. Have you added to your Cartman collection lately? No, because all the best Cartman stuff is vintage from 1998. So I'm an old school. Will the videos be archived online, or is it important to download them? I would download them if you want to guarantee access to them forever and ever. Amen. Why don't you download them, grab them, and have access to them? They are up, but as you will have seen, we pull down the previous year's content each year because we don't want to confuse people, and things change. So it's up to you. How relevant is the 30-day challenge if you're already making money online? 2 answers to this question. Answer 1 is, why do Major League Baseballers turn up at spring training and spend day after day working on their swing or the very basics and fundamentals of their pitch? That's right, because they want to get good at it. And I know a lot of extremely experienced 30-day challengers, internet marketers who do the 30-day challenge each year because it's their version of spring training, just going back and having a look at the fundamentals. And because we like to do our best, there's usually 2 or 3 different surprises which are complete revelations in terms of what's going on in internet marketing. And we've got at least 2 of those this year. We'll tell you about it when it happens. So it depends on your approach. Like Google Reader last year, for example, when we introduced Google Reader in pre-season, that blew everybody away. If you haven't looked at the Google Reader lessons in pre-season, check them out. It will save you an hour a day. 30-day challenge works for everyone in any country. It absolutely does. We have people from all over the planet doing the 30-day challenge. Now, there are certain challenges in certain countries. Some countries don't have access to YouTube, for example. There are various challenges in various areas. I know somebody who lived in a very regional area in France last year who would actually use a modem, and they would download their content overnight and be able to watch it the next day. It's always possible. Libraries, anywhere, as long as you've got some access to the internet, you will be able to do the 30-day challenge. You may have to work a little bit harder than somebody who's got it all laid on, but that's the way it is. But there's certainly no restrictions. Oops, what's that? Very good. What happens after the 30-day challenge is over? We crawl under the nearest rock and sort of recuperate for the next 30 days or so. No, well, hopefully at the end of the 30-day challenge, you'll be working on your business. You'll have a online business which you'll be working and getting, content and doing all those sorts of things and continuing on. The whole thing about the 30-day challenge is to get you started, and more importantly than that, give you an incredible foundation to make sure you are absolutely you've got an incredible foundation to build that business on. Oh, thanks, Nez, for that. With all due respect, what time will this be over tonight? I have to go to work. I will keep, it's over, but I'm going to be sitting here and answering questions until we finish the questions. How do you remove, but very politely asked, thank you. How do you remove RSS feeds from Google Reader? Suffer from too many in there now? There is an edit button at the bottom of Google Reader, the column. side. There is a button at the bottom which allows you to edit, and you can delete them. Or you click on the main section. So you select one of the blogs, and then up at the top, you'll see there's an edit. There's a little drop-down box. You can click on that, pardon me, and delete the feed there. How many 30DC millionaires are there? Well, I can tell you from the 28 who successfully made their first dollar in 2005. 8 of those have either made $1 million online, sold their business for $1 million, or just made lots of money, which is fantastic. But not the reason we're doing this for. If you're sitting here thinking, I'm going to make $1 million by doing the 30-day challenge, time to move on. Seriously, you're wasting your time here. The only thing we're interested in is getting you to make $1. Now, a lot of people might be here and you're sort of thinking, well, I need the cash. I need something. I need to put my time and effort into something that's going to give me cash straight away. You need to work any system to make it work. 30-day challenge or anything else. Do you think these $1 million days that myself and my colleagues have happen on the day? No way. Often years of work go into making that day happen. So I don't want to burst any bubbles, but I'll burst them if I need to, because the only way you're going to be successful online and make a decent amount of money is to make that first dollar first. So many people are so focused on making that $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $1 million day that they never actually get to the point of making their first actual dollar. And that's why we want to get, the other reason we focus on the dollar so much is, and it's a really important psychological point, is that if we advertise this as the $10,000, use 30 days to generate a $10,000 a month business, could that potentially be true? Yes, it could be true. In fact, I think the most successful 30-day challenger that I recall, I think made about $17,000 or thereabout, but that's happened once. That's like an outlier. That's not what we expect. We expect to make $1. And the reason we do that is because if you did the 30 days and you actually put all the effort in and you get to the end of the 30 days and you wouldn't have made your $10,000 and you mentally, even if you said, oh yeah, that was good training and everything was good, mentally your brain is going to start looking for other things to be doing because it doesn't happen overnight. It really, really doesn't. And so that's the key element of it. Is there going to be an example of a blog like the Vintage Electric Guitar blog? By the way, how is Vintage Electric Guitar doing? That poor, abused, violated blog is still number one, baby. Number one, and has been for 12 months. It just goes to show the power of the stuff that we teach in the 30-day challenge. You're going to see lots of examples, lots of different examples this year. And that is actually, it's good for you to raise it, because often what we've tried to do is do one project from start to finish. We can't do that anymore because there are just too many of you and it just doesn't work. So we're going to use different projects and different examples from all different projects to make it all happen and work this year. And that is a change. And just because of scale, just because of the number of people that we're doing. Let's have a look. Is there lessons in 30-day challenge on how to find wholesalers, manufacturers, other companies to get products and services? Well, I think that sounds to me like you've got a real e-store slant, and specifically, well, actually, yes, we do show you how to do that, but I don't want you to think that we're going to be specifically showing e-stores or anything like that. What we want to be doing is we want to make, and this is the whole thing about mindset. It's day one lesson. Is that too many people think about the end product before they work out whether the market actually is interested in what you've got to sell. And the good news for you is that there's no need to take any risk anymore to figure that out. Ed, how do I push my Google Reader articles with a note to Twitter? I saw that in pre-season that you just click on the share with a note and it gets pushed to Twitter. Yes, that's right. We won't be covering that technique in the 30-day challenge specifically, but it is something that it's a great thing to do, and you do it with friend feed, so on. It's a little bit tricky for what's needed for 30-day challenge. But yes, that's exactly what I do, and it works very, very well. Ed, can you please go back and have a look? You've missed some questions, and people are repeating them on chat. Oh, I don't think I missed any. Oh, is it best to form a team around interest, geography, or something else? Up to you. You know, I love diversity in a team. I think diversity works really well in a team, and I think it's pretty cool that you can use Skype and all these different things to have literally team members in different parts of the world. I think that's fun. I like to see different skill sets in a team. Is nice, like if you had your Deruthers. But there's all sorts. There's homeschooler teams. There's different teams from different religions. There's all sorts of different teams. So it really is up to you and what will work. Caro, can you host that? Oh, yeah. Will Frank Kern and Evan Pagan be teaching us some new tricks? We're going to have a whole bunch of guest presenters this year. I think will you cover adding credit card payments to the site? It depends on what element we're doing. Again, watch the challenge. Stay with us for the challenge. Can you use PayPal, etc. on Facebook? You can, absolutely. Very much so. All right, I'm now going to relieve Caro of her duties. I'm going to now be watching the chat room. And if there's a question that you haven't got, I'll answer it here. We'll give you a couple of minutes/seconds. A team of drummers. There's quite a few drummers in the 30-day challenge this year. It's remarkable that they've actually been able to, type. But no, they're here. Oh, this, even though I love the Rode, this is a Heil, Heil PR40 microphone right there. And it's a dynamic microphone, and it hasn't got phantom power, which means it gets, for you audiophiles, it means it doesn't have the 48 volt hum, which just makes my voice come across that little bit nicer. Okay, I play professional cowbell. Naz does, yes. Ed, can you end this off with some riffage on your guitar? Usually I do, but I don't. In fact, that gives me a great... I'm going to end the recorded broadcast section here, and thank you for joining us on the 30-day challenge post-record of the launch. And hope to see you very, very soon. Next show will be Sunday night, and of course we'll be recording that too. So we'll see you soon.